And Bozel can fireball his Bernhard to crush him. Ledin is going to melee attack the enemy Leon. Lana, range attack on the enemy Leon. Nope. Let's have Lana. Toss out a range attack. Regular range attack, and that finishes off the enemy Lana. And now I can move Ledin up a little into that tile that I mentioned and heal up my party. And the summon, the Sky Archer can just stick around. Alright, so Blood God comes up. Oh, and I actually triggered the other one. That was my fault. And the reason I need the miracle is for the next Blood God, which is also triggered. So Ledin tanks the hit from this Blood God. Oh, it survives with 1950 hit points. Not good. Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I am going to be doing the next challenge battle in the Sakura Strike Force event, which is challenge battle number 6, Intermediate Exam, AoE-ed Attack. So, before I begin the fight, I'll talk about it in detail, go over my party, and then begin the battle. So, first things first, let's talk about the fight. And first, Ichiro Ogami offers 3 buffs in this fight. Because these are AoE-ed attack buffs, your characters have to be active, that is, they cannot move for the AoE-ed attack effect to apply. In other words, you want these buffs on characters who basically act last in your party. So, there's actually 3 buffs, 2 of them should really be applied on a single character, and the other buff will be on a different character. The first 2, which should go on a single character, have a 2 block range. Okay? And AoE-ed attack freeze has an effect of, after AoE-ed attacking, prevents the target from taking action again for 2 turns. But all of these enemies are actually immune to that kind of effect. They're immune to stuns. So this will only do damage to the enemies. There's also the AoE-ed attack damage boost, where it can perform physical aid within 2 blocks, and after AoE-ed attacking, causes the target to take 10% increased damage, can be stacked. So basically the more attacks you launch on the enemy with various characters, the more damage they'll take from the follow-up attacks. And then the final AoE-ed effect is AoE-ed attack augment. This one has a 4 block radius as opposed to 2 of the first 2, so it's in some ways it's a better one. And this one will, after AoE-ed attacking, increase the AoE-ed range of all allies excluding self by 2, and AoE-ed damage increases by 50% for 2 turns. This effect triggers once every 3 turns. So while there is a pretty long cooldown on that third effect, it's pretty nice, right? Increasing the AoE damage. So, those are the 3 buffs, and what I plan to do is to put 2 of those AoE buffs on Ledin, and then probably put the last one, the AoE attack augment, on Tiaris, because these 2 characters generally don't move until everyone else has attacked. So that will allow me to get the most benefit from the AoE effects. Alright, so those are the AoE buffs. Now, let's talk about the enemies. And there's actually a whole bunch of them on this map. There's 3 enemies on the left, 3 enemies on the right, and then 4 individual enemies. 3 enemies on the left aren't too bad, it's just Leon, Bernhard, and Lana. 3 enemies on the right is Elwin, Landius, and Rachel. And then the individual enemies are unique enemies. They have, They're called Blood Gods and they have very unique skills. First, let's talk about their talent, Bloody Knight. It can perform magic aid within 4 blocks, and after aid attacking, applies Disciple to targets. After taking action, deal 0.5 times physical damage to allied units within 2 blocks, lasts 2 turns. So you can't let them swarm you, right? Have 2 of them next to you, because if they do, they'll start applying that Disciple effect on you, and your characters will start doing AoE damage to your whole party. So the Blood Gods need to die pretty much as soon as they come at you. Or when they attack you, yeah, that's pretty much it. They can have to be basically taken out one by one. Otherwise, you're going to get that Disciple effect. Their passives are also very annoying. The first passive, Descent, allows them to ignore their class priority penalties. So, you know, holy units won't do additional damage to demons. And even worse is the fact that they can move twice per turn. Basically, that passive is a permanent act again buff on these Blood Gods. So every time they move, they'll move twice. If they're next to you, they can potentially attack you twice and rip you apart. The second passive is after using battlefield skills to deal damage to targets, gain Divine Dispatch. All allied units gain +3 aid range for 1 turn. So another reason why you can't really let them survive, right? Because otherwise they'd have 7 aid range and absolutely crush you with that Bloody Knight effect. And finally, they have the passive Bloody Death. After dealing damage to a target, deal 0.5 times AoE damage to enemies from 1 circle. Targets are unable to receive healing and suffer -2 mobility for 2 turns. Tons of annoying effects. Alright, so the only reason this fight effectively is clearable is because these groups of enemies all trigger on different turns. For example, this first group, Leon, Bernhard, Lana, triggers on turn 2. Then, this Vampire, Blood God, triggers on turn 3. The Northern Vampire Blood God triggers on turn 4. And then, I believe this group, the protagonist group, triggers on turn 5. This Blood God triggers, I believe, on turn 6. And then the final Blood God in the north triggers on turn 7. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of wipe them out one by one. So that covers this fight in detail. So now, let's talk about the party I'm going to be using. And first things first, because there are no Lancer enemies, but there are 2 Cavalry enemies, I'm going to have Lana bring Lightning Strike, Dark Reaper, and then Heaven's Sanction. Heaven's Sanction will primarily just be used on turn 1 to trigger this group of enemies to attack me, while allowing me to avoid the enemy Lana's Black Hole attack. Liana will have Act Again, Heal, and Summon Sky Archer. Summon Sky Archer will help me dispel any potential debuffs from, let's say, the Blood Gods, so that I can heal up my characters after that. Ledin, of course, has Faction Buff, Divine Guard, and Light Reflect. Nothing too special there. He's the way he normally is. Leon. I have my Leon bringing Legion, Chivalry, and Assault. You know, Assault is a nice damage skill, can apply cannot heal effects on the enemies. So yeah. Bozel is actually replaceable. I'm going to be using Bozel with Dark Waltz, Dark Reaper, and Fireball, but it's very, very possible, I think, to use Luna for the same thing. Right? The faction buff will actually buff up Lana, Liana, and Tiaris, as opposed to Bozel's faction buff, which only buffs up Lana. So with Bozel, Tiaris is unbuffed, but that's fine. We'll run it as is. So going on, Bozel will have Dark Waltz, Dark Reaper, and Fireball. And Leon will have, and Tiaris, rounding out the party, will have Heal, Attack Blessing, and I'm going to be bringing Miracle. So that's my party, and at this point, I'm pretty much ready to begin the fight. So let's get started. Alright, so very first thing I'm going to do is have Ledin move forward like this to grab one of the buffs. And I'm actually not going to have him activate any skills right now. Because if I activate Faction Buff, then Divine Guard, they will both expire on turn 4, right? And then on turn 4, I'll have trouble, right? Because I can only activate, let's say, Divine Guard and not have the Faction Buff for that turn. And turn 4 is when this Blood God will start attacking me. So I can't afford to do that. So I'm going to just have Ledin move up, not activate his Faction Buff at all. And that's it. Next, I'm going to have Liana shift back a little, like so, and use her Again skill on Ledin. That way, Ledin can grab the second buff and activate Divine Guard here at this point. Because I need Ledin to tank a hit from these enemies. So there's the Divine Guard up and running. Lana is going to move up next to Ledin and throw her Heaven Sanction to only hit Leon. But it will trigger this group to attack me. Next, I'm going to move Bozel and have him activate his Faction Buff. Nothing too special there. Just going to end Leon's turn. And I'm finally going to have Tiaris move up and apply Attack Blessing on Leon to start. So, and her talent will affect everyone but Lana. So the enemy Leon comes rushing forward, hits me with Assault, and takes a bit of damage. Now, I need Lana to weaken this Leon so that he will suicide attack into my Ledin. So let's have Lana attack Leon at 3 range to begin that weakening process. Then I'm going to move my Ledin down and have him Faction Buff. Leon needs the Chivalry to attack this enemy Leon, which actually hits Bernhard. And I'm going to Chivalry because of the Hegemony effect dispelling 1 random buff. So, Chivalry and attack. Doing a good amount of damage, and I'm going to just retreat back. So if I take a look, I think because I was immune to all debuffs, I'm not sure if I actually lost a buff. Well, in any case, taking a look at this, yeah, I seem to have everything. In any case though, let's continue, and I'm going to have Bozel move up, and he is going to toss out a fireball on the enemy Lana, doing some damage to it. Liana is going to move up and drop a summon in case I need to dispel, right? Because this Lana does have Black Hole after all. And then Tiaris will also move up and just heal up my Ledin. So everyone is healthy. So, Ledin tanks the hits from Leon and kills him. Ledin tanks the hits from Lana and survives. Ledin tanks a hit from Bernhard, and Hegemony will remove 1 buff randomly. Taking a look on my turn to see what buff was removed. As long as it doesn't remove your Divine Guard, you're good. Right? As long as you can do damage to the enemy. So, taking a look at my Ledin, I have no idea what was removed. Maybe it was the 2 range factor of Divine Guard, because I have my full faction buff here. Yeah. So it looks like probably the 2 range effect of my Ledin was removed. Probably. I can't tell. In any case though, so now I need to kill off these 2 enemies and be ready to take on this Blood God, which is going to move up 4, then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it can move twice, right? So move 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So either of these 2 tiles. So as long as I don't place anyone here, I'm okay. So let's start with Bozel, finishing off Bernhard. There we go. And now I need to crush Lana. That should probably be the job of Leon. So let's have him go in with an assault. Not quite dead, but close to it. And now I need to make sure I don't trigger this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't place myself here, but I can place the character here, for example. Or I can just place myself back. Let's just place Leon back. Safer. This being the case, I want Ledin, who is my main debuffer with physical aid debuffs, to be in front. Right? Because this Blood God ends up on these 2 tiles. So I want my Ledin within 2 tiles, which means just placing him here and having him finish off Lana will do so. And then I just move everyone else up. So let's have Liana. Well, let's move Lana up. Let's have Liana move up and heal up. And have Tiaris move over. Like so. And in fact, I can have Tiaris activate Miracle now, in preparation for crushing this Blood God next turn. So I'm going to do that. But first, let's just move the Sky Archer as well. So, Miracle. For the extra 15% damage dealt. So this Blood God comes up and moves further up. And now I have to crush this Blood God this turn. So, here we go. So, I want everyone else to attack first before I move, let's say, I don't know, Tiaris and Ledin, right? So let's start with Bozel tossing on the Dark Reaper. Add those 8 attack effects. I know this this Blood God is coming in. Lana needs to attack. Ledin needs to Divine Guard. And I guess I'll have Leon attack twice. Right? So why don't I have Tiaris apply Attack Blessing first. On Leon. So not doing too many of those aid attack effects with Lana. But that's fine. So Leon's first attack wipes out the remaining gargoyles. He moves back. Liana will use Act again on Leon for a second strike. Looking good. And back off. Ledin is going to Divine Guard here. And Lana will toss out the Dark Reaper, I guess. So, there we go. This vampire is dead. So it comes in, attacks me, and Ledin crushes it. And this next vampire is triggered to move in. And Ledin tanks the hit successfully. The AoE hits me and just damages Lana. So now I need to quickly crush this vampire, this blood god. So here we go again, basically. So let's start with Bozel fireballing this blood god to start. And interestingly, I'm actually doing some aid damage, unlike the other one. Bonus. So this one should be easier to kill. Let's have Lana attack as well, purely for the aid damage. And her talent will heal up my characters. I'm going to have Lana attack as well, but I kind of need to keep Lana safe, if possible. Should be okay. Let's see. Range attack, doing 10,000, 8 damage once, twice, 3 times. Leon. I don't think I need my chivalry to finish off this blood god. It's at 29,000 hit points. So let's just have Leon attack then, with a regular attack, or I'll throw in assault. 8 damage. And just end Leon's turn. And I'm actually going to have Tiaris attack then, in this case. So my whole party attack this blood god, and with the 8 damage, down goes the blood god. So there we are. And now this group starts moving forward. So because the blood gods then trigger, so I'm just going to shift away because I want to take out the blood gods first. The blood gods are the top priority, right? You can't afford to have them drop the disciple effect and so on. So I'm just gonna shift north in preparation, right? Blood gods first, the 2 blood gods, then deal with the remaining 3. So yeah, I'll start moving. So I'm gonna shift north. So move Liana up and heal up these characters. Move Tiaris. Well, actually Tiaris can move last. So let's move Ledin up and faction buff. Reactivating the buffs on everyone, basically. Lana up. Bozel faction buff. Leon up. And then finally, Tiaris up. Oh, and actually this blood god triggers first. So alright. Have to kill off this blood god. Fortunately, everyone is ready for it. So here we go. Once again, start with ranged attacks, and they're going to be Dark Reapers. There's the first aid effect. Leon then can chivalry and attack. I'm not going to use assault for this strike because I was mainly killing gargoyles. So more aid effects. This time the aid effects aren't doing any damage. A lot of hit points to reduce on this Blood God. So for now, let's have Lana, Dark Reaper, the Blood God, as well. Okay, that looks good now. With that Dark Reaper, it's nearly dead. Liana can again. So Ledin is going to Divine Guard here, and then Liana can again, right? And that should be enough. Yeah. So, Divine Guard. Liana, act again on Leon. And Leon, second strike, weakening this Blood God a lot, so that when it attacks me, it should suicide. And I might as well attack Blessing one of my characters, who will be attacking Landius. And because Landius does ranged retaliation, the best character to attack Blessing is probably Bozel. Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'll do it on Leon. Whatever. If the soldiers are heavily damaged, it should be fine. So Ledin counterattack against the Blood God, kills it. And the next Blood God moves in. So let's start weakening Glendius at this point, and I'll start with Leon. Doing good 8 damage again. Going to have Lana attack at 3 range, I think. Oh, she does have Healing Light, so she could attack at 2. Might as well. Bozel. We'll do the same thing. Might as well Dark Reaper at 2 range. Now the question is, can I kill off this Landius once, right? That's what I really want to happen. So, going to have Liana melee strike to try to make that happen. Via this, the 8 damage. So down it goes for the first time. Ledin still has Divine Guard, so he'll protect everyone. And then this Landius will fall. So we're good to go. And I will heal up Liana, since I know Ledin will do fine against this Cavalry Landius. Down goes Landius. And now I have to deal with the other Blood God with Elwin and Rachel around too. What if I retreat and drop a summon to try to draw attention? I think that may be the way to go. So it can move 1, 2, 3, 4 like here, and if I drop the summon, I can place it right here to potentially block and delay. So yeah. Especially since my Ledin's guard is down, right? Have to pull a little trick like this to get away with this. So let's move Bozel back. Let's have Liana drop the summon as I mentioned. Just figuring out how to position to survive this. That's going to be key to this fight. So let's drop the summon as I mentioned. And have the summon stand here. And then Ledin backs off. Lana backs off. Leon can just run away, I think. And Tiaris can miracle here. It's not going to be easy to keep my characters alive, so hopefully this works. There we go. Summon does draw one Blood God attack, and it does attack me the second time. Ledin taking the hits, and everyone survives. So just as planned. And now I have to crush the Blood God. So. Let's start with Leon's attack. Chivalry. And I think Assault. And then retreat. Liana is going to act again Leon, and her talent will remove the debuffs on Ledin and Lana. And then Leon can do a second strike. But first, let's have these two attack, right? So. I also want to avoid Rachel. I don't want to get hit by this AoE. So if I have... So it's figuring out my character positioning to do so. Well, let's have Bozel. Fireball from here. Ledin really needs to activate Divine Guard. And Tiaris needs to heal up my characters. Specifically Ledin. So I guess I'm going to have Lana attack at 3 range like this. With the Dark Reaper to heal up. And Leon is going to make his second strike. And back off. So, Ledin can safely Divine Guard here. And Tiaris can come over to heal up my Ledin. And with this, Ledin kills off the Blood God. And then he'll probably die to Elwin. Or not. Wow. Survives the hit. So now there's only 2 enemies left
ご命令を。
Pretty much a successful run, in other words.
はあ よし
はい。
よし
So let's have Ledin move first. And he's going to faction buff up.
勝負をつける時が来たな
Tiaris is going to heal up my Ledin.
これが私の信じる心です。
And then I need to start weakening these enemies.
何をしてるのか分かっているのか
Ideally with faction buff, but I don't think I can get that active. So
何をしてるのか分かっている何をしてるのか
Let's
分かって
smash
いるのか
Elwin while I can. And I forgot all about the aid attack since I moved my Ledin first.
準備
That
完
was
了です
careless. Not a problem though. Elwin should die anyways. Or not.
そうだ。
But good enough overall. Can't complain about this result. He would have definitely been dead if I let my Ledin aid attack this Elwin. In any case, though.
行くぜ
So, Ledin now cannot heal yourself on him. And I am going to have to finish off this Rachel. So
準備完了です了解
let's start with Leon.
ご命令を。
よし
はい。
行くぜ
ご命令を。
Or let's start
ターゲットは。
何を
そうだ。
何をしてるのか分かっているのか
Oh, let's faction buff first.
絶望せよ
They do need that stat increase to attack. And then I might as well start with Lana attacking. To do the aid attack effects.
了解
And then have Leon run in.
よし
Ledin is dead.
はい。
Flat out. There's no way he can survive at this point.
これが
At least he should
私
draw
の
out
信じ
another
る心
attack
です。
from Rachel before he dies.
準備完了です
So, Leon, Assault. And back
Yes.
off.
そうだ。
Tiaris. Now I might as well have Tiaris melee attack to do the aid damage, right?
行くぜ
And then Ledin is just going to tank a hit and die. Or
試してみる
I get hit by an AoE and Ledin might even live. Nope. That was too much to hope for.
ご命令を。
はあ準備完了です
Alright, so Leon will come down, chivalry up,
決着をつけよう
begin working Rachel. And back off.
ご命令を。
Liana is going to again my Leon.
思考。そして。ターゲット。
準備
And
完了です
Leon is going to assault and finish off Rachel. And there we are. To clear. I think some improvements could have been done to that, especially near the end. For example, I could have had I could have kept my summon alive, for example, when it died early, and then used that summon to draw away the Sovereign Blood God. That's one improvement for sure. And then if the Sovereign Blood God was out of the fight, I could have probably killed Elwin and maybe even Rachel before I had to deal with that last Blood God. But, you know, this did work out for me. There was that luck element with the enemy Elwin. It could have used Sword Soul first, then Frontal Assault. In my case, it used Frontal Assault first and then Sword Soul. That definitely saved me as well. So my clear had a luck element. But yeah, I'll take it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful. And on that note, Nitro out.